Ender's Game. Ender's Game is the film of the classic science fiction novel by the same name, written by Orson Scott Card. In the film, Ender Wiggin, Andrew Wiggin, is played by Asa Butterfield. Americans will recognize Asa Butterfield as the actor who played Hugo in Martin Scorsese's film, Hugo, and Brits will recognize Asa Butterfield as Mordred from the television show The Adventures of Merlin. He's noticeably older than he was in both of those roles, and he's grown into young adulthood quite well. In fact, he's very good in this movie. I was quite impressed with most of the performances in this film, his included. Ender is a sympathetic hero. He is a genius and an outsider, but the film does a good job of putting you in his shoes so you feel for him despite the fact that he is a bit of an outsider. Now, for a villain, this film doesn't have a true villain in the traditional sense. There are these aliens that are not really as important to the plot as you might imagine, as the film isn't really about the struggle between humanity and these malicious aliens. Rather, it is about this society that is using children as warriors. And so the bugs, the ant like, whatever they're called, they are not as important to the film as you would imagine. As a matter of fact, if you notice, you don't even see them in the commercial. There's a reason for that. They don't really matter, they're almost symbolic. For mentor, the most obvious mentor in the film is Harrison Ford. He is the human general who is tasked with getting these children ready for this battle against these aliens. The idea being adults don't think creatively or enough outside the box to be able to defeat these enemies. So they're training genius children to be the next generation of great generals. And that task has fallen to Harrison Ford, who has given everything to it, including quite a bit of his morality. This is one of Harrison Ford's most impressive roles to date. There is also Viola Davis. Viola Davis is less a mentor to Ender or any of the kids as she is a mentor to Harrison Ford. She acts as Harrison Ford's character's moral compass. She's the one who remembers these are children that they're putting through all of these horrible experiences that it takes to mold a soldier. And she takes what is not really a small part, but neither is it a huge part, and she is amazing in it. You understand why she is an Oscar nominee. She's amazing in this role. She's very, very good. She is in fact the conscious of the film. Now you have Ender's brother and his sister. I don't know the name of the actor who plays Ender's brother, but I know the actress who plays his sister is Abigail Breslin, and they are sort of the good angel and the bad angel for Ender. His brother Peter is a washout of the same program as him. So is Abigail Breslin's character. But they failed for different reasons. Peter because he's too mean, and Abigail, that's not her name, but that's the actress's name. She washed out because she was too nice. And Ender is absolutely a mix of the two. He has a soft heart, but he has learned from his brother Peter that when it's time to fight, it is time to kick the crap out of whatever's in your way. And that is his personality, a warring between those two personalities. For allies, Ender has a team that he works with throughout the movie. The members of the team change as progresses through his training, but the standout is Haley Steinfeld as I forget her character's name. I think it's Petra. And she's also a bit of a mentor. She teaches Ender some of the things he needs to know about training. And sh- the characters that make up his team, I don't remember all of their names, but the point of them being there is they're there so that Ender learns how to lead, because it is them that he learns how to lead. He has to learn who is competent at what and place them where they need to be to assist him better. And that's a pretty interesting part of the movie. For obstacles, well, now you have the other members of the team, the members that don't get along with him, the people that occasionally are placed above him. He has a few conflicts in the school. They're they can be a little bit predictable. I'm not sure if it's because I read the novel or not. Probably not, because I read the novel like 20 years ago. Uh, the upside of this film. The upside of this film is that from top to bottom, the film is amazingly well acted. Every single person in this film, from the largest roles to the smallest parts, just simply knocks it out of the ballpark. It is a very, very well acted film. It's got very good special effects and it's got a very good story, but I walk away from this film remembering the performances. The downside is the lack of a true villain. This film is not, it doesn't have as much conflict as it could have had if the villains of the film, if the aliens had actually been something that was an ever present fear for Ender. And that is, I know that's the way the book went, but it takes a little bit of the guts out of the story because his enemies are his allies. And it kind of weakens the story a little bit because you know he can't defeat the enemy he's facing. He has to get them to join him. It makes for a sci-fi movie with an action conclusion, it takes a little bit of the guts out of it. There's a reason for it because the theme of the story isn't violence, despite the fact that 90% of the story is about fighting and learning how to fight and learning when to fight. So that is what brings it back down from 5 stars for me. It's a 4-star movie to me